Hey guys, welcome to Jackie's Garden Spot. I'm so glad that you've joined me today. Happy holidays to everyone. I see that I have some new subscribers. Hey y'all, welcome to Jackie's Garden Spot. I am Jackie, growing in Zone 8B. So on today, we will look at soil type, the type of soil that I grow in. We will look at the progress of the banana tree, and we will take our last garden tour for 2024. We will look at the seeds that we started a couple of weeks ago and their progress. And then we'll take a look at planting some new bulbs into the flower garden. We will also discuss pesticides for the fruit trees. So come along, guys. Let's get started. And today, guys, I had to go and purchase some more super soil. And this super soil will be used inside of the greenhouse across the winter to begin my spring garden seedlings. So this is super soil. That means that it has everything in it needed to grow and to have your seedlings to thrive and survive into your fruits and vegetables that we will eat across the spring and the summer months. So super soil. You may be asking, why do I use super soil? Super soil is 100% organic. That means that it comes directly from the environment and it goes back to the environment. I purchased my particular super soil from a local landscaping place here in our area. So with that said, what I normally do is I compost. I add a little super soil into my compost bin as well. And it just gives my soil a richer experience, a richer look, a richer feel. And it puts more nutrients back into my soil for a quality vegetable and a quality fruit. This is the side of the garden bed. This is where we will be planting in all of the flowers. I love this side of the garden bed because I get to see a color explosion in the springtime. So I will be planting in some Ranunculus bulbs today and also some Tulip bulbs today. And then as the soil becomes a little warmer, I will then plant out some hummingbird mixed seeds to attract the hummingbirds and the other pollinators to the garden area. So guys, stay tuned. Okay guys, these are the Ranunculus bulbs, and as you can see, they have been soaking in the lukewarm water for approximately 3 hours now. So we are ready to start to plant those in. And this is the seed packet that they came in. And we also have the tulip bulbs. So let's get started. No uniform way in which I am going to plant these bulbs in because I want to see like a spectacular show all across this little garden bed. So I'm going to put some here and there. And of course, whenever you're planting ranunculus bulbs, the claws are here, so you must plant them claw down and give them enough room apart to grow and spread. That's two. There we go. So, tell me in the comments, what are you planting in for the spring harvest? Tell me what you are planning to plant in. I love a display of flowers. So I'm just going to cover them up. And then I'm going to go on to another part of the garden bed here as I cover those. Pat them in nicely. And then I'm going to go to another spot in the garden bed. The nasturtiums are still holding up, as you can see. I'm going to plant some in here because that's an empty kind of spot that I want to see some color in for the next year. Those are some aloe veras. I'm surprised that they are holding up through the weather and everything. I'm going to nestle those in though with some leaves to kind of keep them alive, and hopefully they will come back full force in the springtime. Also gonna put some ranunculus bulbs here. Okay. And guys, as I'm planning out, I will be right back and show you the areas that I did plant them in. Stay tuned. Okay, I do have all of the ranunculus bulbs planted in. So in this section, I did plant in the bulbs. In this section in here, I planted in some. So they are just scattered around. No specific uniform order, guys. Just planted in here and there, because I want to see just an explosion of color all along the flower bed here. I even planted some into the big flower pot. I call this the frog pot. But I want just an explosion of colors. If you know anything about hummingbirds, they are very, very, not predator, but they love their own space. And they will fight for their own space. So I was trying to plan out enough flowers so that they will have their own little space. Also, the pollinators, the bees, will be able to come and do their thing here. I want it to be a safe place for my pollinators. So in this area, I'm going to put in some of the tulip bulbs. And these are the tulip bulbs. And you will always plant these with that side facing up. Sort of like what you would do with a garlic bulb. So I'm going to plant those. And these will be scattered around the garden as well. So I will cover these up, and then I will go all around through and filling in where there are empty spaces in the garden area here, guys. And I'll be right back. Okay, guys, just like that, we are finished planting in all of the bulbs. And as you can see, where you see the very darker soil, that's where we planted in the new bulbs. And as you can see, we have new flowers already coming in, peeping through, guys. I think this is Elysium or Elysium. And I do plan to go back in and plant in some more nasturtium. My goal is to put nasturtium all across the border, because nasturtium is not only edible to us, it's a pretty flower that blooms throughout the spring and summer months, but it also fights against the pest. It deters the pest from eating up your flowers, your plants, your fruits, and your vegetables. And as you can see right here, it is needed. This is mullein. It is a herb, and as you can see, it is being eaten up. And I'll have to go and research and find out what's eating it, because I will have to go in and spray it. I don't like spraying, but I do use some sprays to keep the pests away. I like for the ecosystem to work in its own or on its own to keep the pests away and to combat the pests. But of course, sometimes we have to help it out a little bit. So now we'll go to the greenhouse and see what's going on in the greenhouse. We'll talk a little about that. We'll also talk a little about the banana tree project. Remember that one? So come on, let's go, guys. So let's check the progress inside of the greenhouse. Of course, you were here a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, when we planted the lettuce seeds, the onion seeds, and I think this is the iceberg lettuce, the romaine lettuce, and of course the bunching onions. So this is how they are progressing. It's coming along very good, very nicely. I do have to water it because the soil dries out more here inside of the greenhouse because we've had some sunny days. And of course, as you know, it gets 10 times hotter here inside of the greenhouse. So that's how that's progressing. Then looking at our peppers, of course, as you know, there is no germination yet that I can see. I'm hoping that there will be. I am keeping it moist as possible and hoping for the best. That's the yellow sweet onion, and these are onions and cayenne peppers. And of course, all three of those cells to equal up to the tray are peppers. So we are hoping for the best for these. Okay. And remember the ginger that was in a Ziploc bag, where that's the progress of the ginger. I do have to keep it moist and hopefully it will come up. That is just the regular edible ginger. This is, of course, the shampoo ginger that I've overwintered, and I'm looking for it to come back across the summertime. And we'll talk more about the shampoo ginger as it comes up, guys, this spring. And of course, the trees are doing their thing. The citrus trees, they are still alive. This is the winter. Keep that in mind. Okay, moving on. This is, of course, the peas that were planted. They are growing at a very slow rate, and they have fallen from the trellis because we had a really strong storm that came through the other night. So a lot of things are in a bit of a disarray. The elephant garlic is still coming through. And I do need to go back in and mulch some more leaves in because the storm, of course, blew some leaves off. So I do need to go back in and mulch. The onions aren't doing well, but I'm hoping that they will come back in the spring. And let's move over to the bigger garden, guys. Okay, on the bigger side of the garden, I thought that we were through with the mustard greens, but of course, they are the mustard greens that just keep on giving. Still green, still healthy, so I'm going to allow them to do their thing. And of course, this is a tree collard. It's still hanging on and doing its thing, so I'm going to allow it to do that. And of course, we have turnips that are coming back in, guys. So it looks like that means that we do have a healthy garden here. These are the cabbage. We have 2 heads coming through. So hopefully we will be able to eat some cabbage, hopefully. And of course, that's bulbing onion. And I'm very surprised at how well it's doing considering the amount of bad weather that we've had, guys. And this is the butter crunch lettuce. It's still pretty. I do need to harvest some of this lettuce, and hopefully I will do that soon because my goal is to eat healthier in the year of 2025. Okay, I think that's it for the big side of the garden. And then so I'm going to move along to the side of the greenhouse where we have the carrots, and we'll do a progress report on those as well. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, on this side we still have mullein. It's holding its own, and so the mullein looks like it's trying to die out, but I don't know, we'll see. Some more garlic still coming in, and then the strawberries are still holding on, and of course some more lettuce that I need to harvest. The radishes are doing very well, and then I do need to go ahead and harvest out the carrots because they're just sticking in the ground at this point. So I do need to harvest those and then plant in some more carrots. So guys, I will harvest those today and we will plant in some more coming up. It's fun just pulling them out and seeing what we have, right? Not very good, but we have somewhat of a good harvest. That one had a lot of dirt on there, but it's a good size edible snacking carrot. Very good size. Another good size. So guys, as you can see, I've harvested quite a few there, and we will plant in some more coming up because I want to keep this space with something in it to keep from having to pull the grass. Of course, you know me and grass. I hate pulling the grass, but it's part of gardening, right? Okay, so let's check on the banana tree, guys, and stay tuned. Okay, guys, this is our banana tree. This particular type of banana tree is called an Ranunculus banana tree. I hope that I'm saying that name correctly. However, it is the banana tree that is suggested for my zone, of course, zone 8B. It is supposed to be the most cold tolerant type of banana tree that should be fruiting, a fast fruiting banana tree. So from my research, I figured it out. I think we'll see this coming spring and summer, but it craves a lot of water and a lot of nutrients. So it is a very heavy feeder. So I think that I'm going to try that option this year to see if I can get some bananas. Now, a good friend of mine from Hawaii, I know you're out there and I know you're probably laughing, but she said you will never eat a banana from this tree. Guys, I need to prove her wrong. So if you know something about banana trees in my area, let me know. I am still researching. But again, that's the banana tree. It is still holding its own. It's still doing beautifully. It's still doing new leaves or still coming out of it. So again, this is the banana tree. Stay tuned, guys. On the fruit trees, let's do the progress report on those. They are still looking good. However, as I did tell you, there was a strong storm that came through the other night, and so they kind of knocked them over. So I did come in and I had to stake them down, and then I put down some more super soil around them. And so they are doing fine, I think, and I'm going to spray them with, of course, horticultural oil and some copper fungicide to keep the pests from them and to help them to nourish them in growing, because in the springtime the pest pressure gets really wild, and so I want them to be as healthy as possible. And of course, as you know, this is a Kefir pear tree. And then moving on, this is a Gala apple. And of course, they are very tall, guys. And as far as spraying the pesticides on them, from my research, I've learned that you will spray them 3 times a year. And some target times to remember with spraying them are Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, and Christmas, give or take a couple of weeks. So I did not have them during the Thanksgiving. I got them right after Thanksgiving. So I will be spraying them for the December date, give or take, in the next few days. And of course, this one is I forget the names of them. This is a delicious apple. So I did purchase 2 different apple trees so that they will cross-pollinate to give me more fruit. And then, as I did show you the keeper pear tree, that one we will cross-pollinate with my Bartlett pear that I'll go down and show you in just a moment. And I plan to get some blueberry bushes, hopefully this spring. Okay, so moving on to show you the Bartlett pear. Again, they are looking very healthy, guys. They are trying to bloom because, of course, they are confused with the weather, climate changing. Okay, so let's go down to the Bartlett pear. And this is the Bartlett pear tree, guys. So again, I will be spraying them with the horticultural oil and the copper fungicide. And this helps to combat the spider mites and the slugs, the snails, and of course that fire blight and all of that. Of course, the leaf curl that you see right here. So they are in need of spraying. Okay, so let's move on to the next project. Have the copper fungicide. Again, I'm not going to spray today because from the research, it states that we should not spray if you have some wind. We do have some wind here and there today. I want to spray on a very sunny day so that the ingredients will absorb into the trees. So I will spray on another day when it's very sunny, and we do need to have at least 48 hours of warm weather to allow these ingredients to dry into the trees. So again, you do have the products if you are spraying. This is what I use. So, and this one is ready to spray. You can buy it in a concentrated form to dilute it. This one is concentrated, so I will have to dilute it when I spray. Okay? Again, guys, thanks for joining me today, and I wish you all a happy new year. Thanks, and be well.